We're cruising with Mary. Come on in.
Tradition, love, and taste that's great. Slow fermented dough, flavors so.
Good evening and welcome to Rock, Paper, Hand Grenades. I'm your host, Joshua Solomon, and with me as always is the Honorable J.P. Marzullo. How you doing, J.P.?
I want cold weather now. I'm getting
Don't start with that garbage.
I'm doing fine.
It's not hot. It's nice.
It's nice.
It's not 85 and humid.
Yeah, it's humid though.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's still comfortable.
Okay, let's move on. No, I'm doing fine. Things are good. It's all good.
Any more Scottish tourist information from the Fife?
Oh, from no, they've moved down to Florida now, but but they're not having as much fun down there. First of all, you know that they drank Boston dry. They had no more beer left in Boston. And I don't think...
I saw the one story. They drank, like, on this one street, they drank all the Sam Adams dry. They don't get Sam Adams over there.
Right.
So they drank all the Sam Adams dry from these pubs. And one pub had to order a special delivery. And when they went to get it, the distribution center was empty, and Sam Adams had to make a special delivery to the distribution center. Like they were literally drinking the city dry.
Oh my God! They're fun actually. They brought a lot of. I'm not a huge. I don't watch soccer that much, but they're bringing a lot of excitement. It's kind of fun watching these guys and women, and I think they're Norwegians that were doing rowing. They all lined up in the subway car in New York City, and they put on the floor and started doing this. And they have these chants that they have. So one quick story: the Cubs were playing the Mets today, and they were up in the stands. The Nords were up there, and they were doing their rowing and stuff. So T-Mac, who is one of the girls that works for the Cubs organization, went up there, and she was doing it and stuff. So she said to them, is there any chance you would change your loyalty and maybe root for the Cubs today? And the guy looked at her and said, no. So the announcer started saying to her, okay, here's what you got to do. Start saying, let's go France, because they're playing France. So she got out of there alive, which was good. But now they're on their way to Gillette. Nice. Because they're playing there. It's funny that people would actually not call it, Gillette Stadium. They had to change the name just for this. Crazy. Yeah. Didn't make sense. Anyway, that's my sports for today.
A lot of people just loving America. I saw one interview. One of the visitors said, "If you want to hate America, watch the news. If you want to love America, come visit."
Here. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, I saw that. That was great.
All right. As always, Rock, Paper, Hand Grenades is sponsored by the Wilson Hill Pistol Club, located right here at 1732 Lakeshore Road, right here in Manchester, New Hampshire, the oldest sports shooting club in New Hampshire. We're at 90, I believe. So it will be 100 years old in 10 more years. You can find us at wilsonhillpistol.org. You can get our training schedule, and you can go there and you can sign up for our next training class, which is the Fast Carbine class.
Oh, you're taking that one,
which
right?
Which is, I hope to, yes.
Yeah.
Which is this Saturday, and I believe there are still some open slots. So you can join the Fast Carbine class with a fabulous instructor, Bob DeMio. He's a fabulous firearms instructor, and he's a fabulous flight instructor as well.
There you go.
So today we have a returning guest, Steve Smith. How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming.
How you doing? By the way, I'm with you on the weather. Yeah, I don't want to hear about humidity, dry heat. There's no humidity in my oven. Things will still die in there. No, I'm a cold weather guy.
Yeah, we lived in Maryland for 20 years, and the humidity wasn't a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And people will say, well, we have a swimming pool. It's still humid. The air is still humid. What does that do?
The swimming pool is wet, too.
Yeah, it's like crazy.
You have to stay in there.
Yeah.
I got a cousin that lives in Margate, Florida.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, how do you stand it? And he goes, well, I love it down here for the weather. I'm like, but you're never outside. You go from your air-conditioned house to your air-conditioned car, to the air-conditioned store. You're like a hamster in one of those habit trail things.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to dig snow.
I don't mind the snow.
Well, it's like when you own something, or like you have to make excuses, like for people who live in Arizona. Oh, it's dry heat. 105 degrees is hot.
Birds are still dropping dead out of the sky.
I don't care. And they use oven mitts in their car instead of touching they can't touch the thing.
My first experience with Arizona, I flew into Phoenix, and I wasn't ready for the heat. I was in the air conditioned terminal, right? And I went to the rental counter. I got my car, and I went to the sliding doors, right? The automatic doors that open up. Oh. And as I passed through them, I felt this wave of heat that was just brutal. And my first instinct was I looked up to see if there was a heater above the door, like you see when you're walking into Walmart or something. You know how they have those heaters that are blasting heat down you in the wintertime? My first instinct was to look up and look for one of those heaters, and there wasn't one.
Yeah, well,
it was just brutal.
That's my reason for changing who I am, because I wouldn't do well in hell. It would just be too hot for me. But it's like automobiles. I once had a really nice BMW, but they really sucked during the snow. They were terrible. I was all over the road. But if anybody asked me how I liked my car, it was always, it's great. It's one of the greatest cars I've ever owned, until I sold it. So you kind of make sure, you kind of keep that in your back pocket and not say anything. It's the same thing with heat and humidity. Anyway, how do we get into the weather? It's like,
you started it.
I did. This isn't a weather show or a sports show, but we try.
We could talk about anything.
Yeah, and we have.
We're experts on everything.
Yeah, I mean, we asked Boyd, Representative Boyd, how his dog team was doing. Remember that? Yeah. And he went off, and we spent the whole show talking about his kennels and
human interest is good.
Yeah, absolutely. So why don't you tell the people how long you've served, what your position is now, how you initially ran, maybe. I don't even know that story.
Oh, that.
What's going on?
Okay, yeah.
And what's going on? That's probably the most important thing.
Yeah. So how I ran first was I was a failed recruiter. I was supposed to find somebody to run for a district that hadn't sent a Republican to Concord in forever.
It sounds like you succeeded in recruiting yourself.
Yeah, that happened. It wasn't a plan. And you know how it goes. The more people you talk to and they say no, then they start saying, yeah, well, you're out here. Why don't you do it? Oh, damn it.
Exactly.
All right. You know what? Fine. I'll do it. And I got smoked in 2008 like most Republicans that year.
Yep.
But now I've made the fatal mistake. I did it once, so I'm the guy. Nobody else is going to do this. I'm like, what the heck? I already got all the signs. Fine, I'll put them out again. I'll go campaign. And in 2010, the day after Election Day, my wife wakes me up and goes, we've got a problem. you won. Like, did not see that coming. Okay, so awkward conversation with my employer. And
Oh, you didn't have permission to take 3 days a week off.
yeah, but it worked out. I actually did it for another 8 years at that job. It was mostly project-based, and they're like, okay, we don't care if you're in the office as long as you get your work done. So that was good. So yeah, in 2012, that was actually when I learned how to campaign, because I didn't have a clue how I got elected in the first place. I don't know if you remember that crazy wave.
Yes.
Right. These car keys with an R after their name, they got elected. They don't know how. So 2012, I got to figure out how to tell people that I amounted to something. That was hard. We were talking before about candidates leading with issues or not.
Yeah.
That was the year I learned the Putnam Rule. After 14 years, we got the Route 12 project funded. It's the only highway that runs through that area, north and south, right next to the Connecticut River, and it was falling into the river. That's not hyperbole. It was literally falling into the river. So we got the project funded, and there was this guy, Rocky Putnam, who always voted for me, loved me, no idea why. And I thought, this is great, because all his property is on Route 12. And we got the Route 12 project funded. So I'm a hero. So I roll into his place and I go, yeah, you hear we got the Route 12 project funded? And he goes, yeah, I wish they hadn't done that. Like, God, can I catch a break? Yeah.
You said I had nothing to do with that, just to be clear.
Yeah. So, kids are already driving through here too fast. You smooth out the road, more of them are going to die. They'll fly off into the river. Like, okay. And that was the day I learned when you're talking to a voter, the first thing you do is say, what do you want to talk about? What do you care about? And you know what? It works. They love that.
Yeah.
And I didn't make that mistake again. 2012 was not a good year for Republicans. I was the only incumbent Republican in my county that got reelected. We picked up 2 more seats, I think, due to redistricting. But yeah, that was rough. Another year in the minority. And then we got the majority back, and a guy I thought always hated me suddenly became the speaker. So that was when Sean Jasper became the speaker.
Oh, yeah.
Sean and I had always been in the wrong place, on the wrong issue, on opposite sides. Like, it wasn't personal. I didn't know him as a person, but we just always seemed to be in conflict, So I'm like, oh, great.
Sometimes that's a good thing, right? Sometimes
I
want someone who doesn't always think the way that I think to have that conversation with me.
Well, I once had a boss, when I left him, I said, I hope you're glad I'm leaving, because we had a lot of conflicts. And he said, nope, I'm glad you oppose me all the time. And I said, why is that? He said, because if we both agreed on it, one of us wasn't needed.
Right.
And I never forgot that. And that's true. To your point, that's exactly right.
I might be underselling this a little.
So go ahead.
I didn't mention the yelling at each other on the House floor during a special session.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was the special session on expanded Medicaid.
Oh, wow.
And they were cutting a lot of places out of the network. And they wanted to cut my county out of the network. And I had already made a promise that I would bring an amendment to make sure Sullivan County got back in. Well,
Jasper didn't like that, probably.
No, he was okay. It was David Campbell. And they didn't want any amendments. Our side didn't want any amendments. I'm like, I'm sorry, I gave my word. I'm like, they didn't know me well enough to know that when I say that, that's the end of the conversation. I gave my word, I'm doing this. There's nothing you can do, because I'm going to sleep okay when I go home, because I didn't break my word.
Absolutely.
And I had Sean, Bill O'Brien, Al Baldessaro, and George Lambert standing in front of me at the Sergeant-at-Arms door. Right? They're trying to keep me busy, I learned afterwards, so that I wouldn't go up and do the amendment. And they're like, if you do this, Campbell's going to bring a cloture vote, and it'll be a terrible precedent for the House. I'm like, I don't care. I said I'm doing this. I made a promise. I'm going to do it. And they yelled at me a little more. By the way, I have Sean Jasper and Bill O'Brien standing side by side yelling at me. I am a uniter. And
those two would be very interested in trying to unite.
There was one of those awkward pauses that happens on the House floor for no reason. At the very moment I went, you know what? Screw you. I don't work for you.
Oh, so everybody heard it.
Everybody heard it. Yeah. And, you know, and Bill and George Lambert are standing in front of me, sure. And I'm a head taller than them, so everybody saw me and knew what happened. And, yeah, so that was, there were other conflicts, but that was the showstopper. So we don't need to get into the story about how he became speaker, but it was ugly and sudden. And then he calls me.
This is Jasper or Bill?
Sean. Jasper. He calls me and says, Steve, I need you to come in for a meeting. I'm like, oh, God, I haven't even done anything yet. Just give me a chance. And he's insistent that I have to come in for a meeting. I'm like, can't you just chew me out over the phone? I don't even know what I did. He's like, no, you have to come in for the meeting. I'm like, you know what? Fine. Boom, slam the phone, because I still had one you could do that with. Hate these things. You slam them, it's $500, right? So, and worse, he wants me to come in for 9 o'clock the next day. Oh, it takes me 2 hours to get to Concord, so I'm going to get up at 6 so I can get ready, do some things, leave at 7, and I have a 2-hour drive to prime myself for this epic fight. I get to the speaker's office. I really wanted to just like kick the door open, but I entered forcefully, let's say, and just went, what?
Nice.
And he goes, we'd like to make you the chairman of the Transportation Committee.
Couldn't you have told me over the phone?
I got him, Dick Hench, Sherm Packard, sitting there grinning at me. I'm like, no, really, why am I here? You are the best guy for the job, and I know we've had our differences, but I think you'll do a good job at it. I'm like, okay, you know, I got a full-time job. I can't be a committee chair. And he goes, if you're the committee chair, you can write the schedule.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to bring him in early and work him late. I'm not going to do extra days. He goes, it's your committee, it's your schedule.
Yep.
Oh, damn it, okay, fine. And that's how I get into leadership, because I make bad life decisions.
I don't think so.
So that I actually enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. It's a subject that I know things about.
Yep.
And so I found it interesting. It was a good committee. A lot of the stuff is non-political. You're actually solving problems.
Yeah.
4 years of that. And then we were in the minority again. Is that
18,
right?
Yeah.
It's all a blur.
Yep.
So I don't even remember what title they gave me at that point.
They made one up.
But I got some title.
And you had a little office then.
I did. I shared an office with Norm Major.
Yep.
That was nice, because he was a great guy.
Very good guy.
Didn't make a lot of noise. It was a good time. I did this in Norm's memorial comments. So I used to punk him. Every time I saw him, I'd go, Norm, like from Cheers. And then it occurred to me, maybe this guy doesn't even know why I'm doing that, and he just thinks I'm an oddball. And so I started to feel bad about it, because Norm Major is a guy you respect. You look up to him, and I don't want him to think I'm some kind of weirdo. And I knew it was okay, though. One day I walk into the LOB, and Norm's there signing in, and he looks at me and goes, Steve! Really loud. Did you ever see his car?
No.
He had...
it was an antique, right?
It was like a 90s Impala with, I think, rolling on 18-inch wheels.
Oh, wow.
I really expected seeing the car to hear dum, 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 right? And then he would get on 93 and sail 80 miles an hour straight as an arrow, even at his age.
Yeah.
It was. I miss him too.
Yeah.
I miss too many people. I've done too many memorial comments.
Yeah.
One thing that's important too is I've taken that and taken the time to learn more about the people I know while they're still alive. Did you ever know Harry Gale?
No.
He was a former rep from Sunapee and chair of the Sullivan County Republican Committee before I was. Very nice guy, very proper. Never saw him wearing a shirt that didn't have a collar, often had a sweater vest over it. very polite, and invited people over once to have his mother's recipe Bulgarian soup. I mean, it's a very proper, classical guy. And then Harry passed away, and I have to do memorial comments for him. So I started looking up his life, and it was then that I found out Harry served in the 101st Airborne in Korea.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, Harry Gale was a screaming eagle, and so it's important to learn about these people so these things aren't forgotten. All right, sadness over. Yeah, so I ran for speaker once before. I ran against Dick Hench.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was probably the best campaign ever because we weren't enemies, and we actually went to some stuff together. Why not, right?
Yeah.
You got to be there. Yeah, I even have a picture taken when we were both on the Winnipesaukee cruise.
Oh, yeah.
We were both there campaigning for ourselves, but, you know, why not? I didn't hate the guy. I just wanted to do things differently.
Sure.
Got near the end, and I can count, so I dropped out.
I do remember that.
Yeah, and people were like, are you going to endorse somebody? No, I'm not. I don't want to be a kingmaker. It's like, I didn't get there. I'm going to drop out. Everybody can do what they want.
Yep.
And so Dick found out that I was dropping out when I went to an event that he was having.
At his event.
Yes, because he knew me well enough that I would never walk into another candidate's event and poach or even eat their food because that's just not what you do.
Right.
Yeah, so the guy ran up and hugged me. That was awkward. But, that was how Dick was. Because he knew the minute I walked in what it meant.
Sure.
So.
Sure.
And so then I helped with his campaign in the election.
Yep.
He asked me to forecast the election that was coming up. Like, okay, I can do that. Can you have it Monday? I'm like,
this was like Friday or Saturday.
A couple of hundred House seats that I do individually. It matters to me who the candidates are, their history. It's, I don't know, 90, 120 hours worth of work. It's Friday. Yeah, sure, I'll have it Monday. Why not? I was one seat off.
Oh, wow.
And we lost one seat by 5 votes. I came that close to getting it right.
Wow. Wow.
So
that's really important. I think people have to recognize how important that is to be able to do that.
Yeah, like there was a district that we should win by 5, 6 points maybe, except that the Democrat was a choir director. He was president of the Rotary Club for a while. He helps with charity. Everybody loves the guy. He's a good guy.
Name recognition.
They don't care what the letter is. They're going to vote for the guy.
Right.
More representatives need to know that lesson too.
Yep.
At our level, we are dependent on no information voters, right? They show up, and they go, yeah, okay, well, I've heard of all these top ticket people, but I feel vaguely comfortable with this name, and I'm going to vote for them. And they'll cross the ballot to do it, especially where I live.
Yep.
Just be a good citizen in your community. I went to help a candidate training in, yeah, okay, I can say the town. You don't know who the candidates were. Goffstown. So I got up and
we might know the Goffstown. He's from Goffstown. I think we can figure it out.
So I got up and they were expecting the deputy speaker of the House to give them wisdom like I'm freaking Yoda or something. And instead I looked at them and I said, how you doing? So who's Goff? Silence. So, you gotta have things to talk to the voters about that don't involve politics, because if they like your politics, they're probably already voting for you.
Good point.
If they don't like your politics, they're probably already not voting for you. And if they're hyper-tuned to the issues, they're gonna vote their party.
Yep.
It's all the rest of the people that actually decide who runs the House, right? Those undeclareds that just want to know you're a good guy. Yeah, I'm locked up or done anything icky in the last few years that we know about, and and you know the place you want to represent.
Yeah.
And like I always made it a point when I had that big crazy district that was the whole bottom third of my county, to know that the town of Washington was a birthplace of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and also the first place in the United States named after George Washington. The town of Leominster, in 1938, the New Hampshire Electric Co-op planted the first telephone pole when they were electrifying western New Hampshire. The town of Charlestown, it's kind of an awkward story. So, Sir Admiral Charles Knowles, it's named after, a British admiral, because it was originally just the settlement at number 4. It had been the northernmost British settlement at the time, and Captain Stevens fought off a big Indian attack, and the admiral complimented him on his skill and sent him a sword. Nice sword. And you know I like swords, so.
You don't have that sword, though.
No, I don't have that sword. I'd be retired. But the townspeople were so grateful that this admiral sent this really nice sword, they decided to name the town after him. So yes, my town's named because of pandering.
Is after a British admiral.
Yeah. Still a good story. But I digress. So then, back to sadness. So Dick became the speaker for a week, and then he passed away. We found out because we were in the office working on the seating chart, which is an ordeal.
Yeah.
And Dick wasn't there, which is unusual. Dick is always there or calls. None of that happened. Like, okay. I'm on my way home, and my wife calls me and said, a reporter's on the phone wanting you to confirm that Dick Hench passed away.
Oh, wow.
Like, okay, I can't confirm that because I don't know it, and don't take any more of those calls. And it turned out that he had.
Yep.
Sherm Packard was the deputy speaker, so he becomes the acting speaker. But unfortunately in New Hampshire, you may want to grieve, but the next order of business for the House when there's no speaker is to elect a new speaker.
Yeah.
So nobody really wanted to do anything, and it's like, but somebody has to do something. It's the reality.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, I kind of felt like the monster in the room. I'm like, fine, I'll do the work. And I started calling people to get votes for Sherm. And he won and became the speaker and made me the deputy speaker. So not happy that I got elevated to that position. You know, there was no joy there. It was just the work that needed to be done.
Yeah.
In the midst of all that. I had to do the MUR close-up spot about Dick passing away because nobody else wanted to.
Yeah.
But it needed to be done because a Democrat was going to go on, and I didn't want that to be the only voice.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I got elected in the first place. I will not sit down when I want other people to stand up. So after that, do we get more happiness? No, we got COVID. Fabulous.
Right. Yeah, those COVID days were very strange, and we had meetings in parking lots and in our cars.
The parking lot was cool.
Well, I didn't say it was bad. It was just strange to be out in the parking lot.
Best house session I ever went to. I'm in with my seat a little reclined and my rig. My passenger seat flips down like a table. I got my thermos of coffee, some bagels. I'm like, yeah, it was great for everybody but Sherm. It sucked for Sherm because it was January.
Yeah.
And he was up there single-handedly bringing Sherpa back into style. It's like bundled up like a native from Alaska with the fur stuff and the hat with the flaps and the mask, freezing his butt off.
Well, then we had one at the center, at the hockey rink.
The soccer field.
Oh, soccer field.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I'm the deputy speaker now while that's happening. That's where I got to preside over the House the first time. So the Democrats are like, new blood. Smith's never been up. So I became Representative Pinata. They learned fast. No, that's not what happens. I shoot back. Some of our own members literally kicking a beach ball around in the back. I'm like, guys, it's a House session. I know we're on AstroTurf, but a little decorum, please. I lost track of the number of times.
So
I
know some of the folks that were involved in some of that, and
Kicking
the point
the ball
there was to illustrate the absurdity of what was going on, because there was no reason to not meet in the House, and true conservatives who weren't falling for the masking, weren't falling for the vaccine, weren't falling for this social distancing garbage, understood that this was all a scam, that this was all garbage. And now, after the fact, by 5 or 6 years, we know it was. We know that all of it was completely unnecessary. But that the beach ball thing, that was that group that kind of aligned with my way of thinking and then what I thought it was illustrating the absurdity of the fact that the House was meeting on a soccer field. So,
Yeah, but
I understand you wanted order as well.
We were also being sued because the other side for years has desperately wanted remote sessions.
Yeah, right. I remember that.
And that's what we were holding the line on. Because if we get remote sessions, you're going to get, people that live in their mom and dad's basements that never have to leave, that are going to become legislators.
We had that one representative from Nashua who was remote on a committee and arguing for the marijuana laws, the gummy laws and whatnot, and she was popping marijuana gummies on her remote session.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to get in remote session.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
Democrats
bad.
popping marijuana gummies.
We got back into the House as soon as we could with all the legal stuff that was going on. And, you got to think, too, of where Sherm's head was at, being called a murderer. Literally, that happened. And, that hurts. And, like, for people that think he was an unfeeling guy, he became the Speaker of the House. And I forget how many weeks it was before he would sit in that chair.
Because it was Dick's.
Yeah, his dead friend's chair.
Yep.
So,
and they were really close.
The guy agonized over everything that we did.
Yeah.
But so we got through it and got back to the House. We got the House itself open, the building, as early as possible. And I had a meeting with a Democrat colleague who's a friend. I'm not going to give his name, but he had to come up to see me. So I take him into the Webster room, and he goes, Steve, I noticed nobody's wearing masks. I said, well, with the new guidelines, we don't need to do that. Thank God. Rip something off.
Yeah, people don't, I mean, a lot of people don't understand that we were the only ones that wanted them off.
No.
There were a lot of Democrats that didn't like the whole deal.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people.
That didn't matter.
I was in a grocery store once, and I was the only one in the entire building without a mask on. And this lady come up behind me, and we had a little issue with parking in the parking lot, and it happened to be that woman. And I thought she was coming up to give me crap about
the parking,
about what had just happened in the parking lot. And so I was prepped, right? And she says, I wish I had the nerve that you have.
And you're thinking, cutting me off into the parking lot, right?
I'm like, what do you mean? She says, I wish I had the nerve to take my mask off. I said, take it off. I said, that's exactly what needs to happen. Everybody needs to get in unison and take it off and be done with this crap.
Yeah.
So people wearing masks wanted them off. They were doing it because they were being good little soldiers for the socialist economy.
And you were waiting for the, how dare you?
Yeah, I was. But I was getting compliments. I was getting these secret compliments from people all the time. I wish I had the nerve you have. I'm like, just do it, right? Take it off right now and be one of us. So
I still don't understand what the deal was with the toilet paper. Why?
How did that happen?
People using it
I
as
have
masks?
pallets of toilet paper at home now.
We never had the issue. It was pure dumb luck. Right before the lockdown, we order in bulk anyway. So I had ordered off of Amazon a couple of the large, the size packages you get at like BJ's or Sam's Club, right?
Yeah.
So we had 2 of these things already, right, in our storage, and lasted all the way through COVID.
Nice.
Never had a toilet paper shortage in my house.
No, we didn't either.
I always thought it was funny when there's a storm, people run out and they buy beans and toilet paper. If you buy a little less of the one,
Yeah, you're safe.
just saying. Yeah.
So let's get to.
right, we
I
have
don't want to move you too fast, but
Well, we're almost there.
yeah, okay, go ahead. Because I think it's important that you
So-
talk about what you're running for.
Yeah, how I got here. But so I was the deputy speaker, and I ran all three of Sherm's campaigns for speaker successfully. And now I'm running for speaker because he decided he's not going to do that again. He will run for the House.
How's he feeling? Is there any? He seems like he was having some health issues. Or?
No, he's fine.
Good.
I mean, he had that fall, but he had back surgery, and he seemed a lot better after that.
Well,
Good.
you've been saying all along that you each time you won your first campaign, it was like, oh, I didn't think I was going to win, and then you get promoted to a committee chair, like, I guess I got to do that too, and you tried to get out of it, and the same with deputy speaker.
No, I liked being a committee chair.
So now, yeah, but you said that
I got promoted out of that.
argued against it by saying that you had a full-time job.
Yeah.
And
Turns out they were right.
But each step along the way, you're like, weren't entirely excited to be promoted, but now you're actually running for a promotion.
I am. I've had 6 years to, Sherman's let me do every aspect of the job. And it's not just presiding over House sessions.
Right.
There's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that goes on with facilities, personnel. We have recess sessions. I don't know if people know about that, but enrolled bills, you need 2 representatives so that the bills can be enrolled and so that then they can be signed afterwards. And representatives come in that need help with things. There's a lot. Also serving
Writing
on the Rules
bills,
Committee.
making sure the right words are in it so you can get it passed.
Yep, yeah, exactly. So, I mean, clearly, I'm the guy that has the experience. There's no other candidate that's going to match that.
No.
And part of that, too, is beginning as Representative Pinata on a soccer field, the Democrats have learned that I try to keep things loose because we all got to get through the day. But if it's a red line, it's a red line. Don't test me. If I drop the hammer and give them sharp voice, it actually works on our guys too. They know, okay, he means it. I put the House in timeout once. They were just, like, there was constant outbursts and everything. I said, you guys need to figure out how long a day you want this to be, because I can make it take until midnight if I want. I can start talking very slowly. And so help me God, I'll do it. We're going to take a 10-minute recess while you think about it. And I walked out.
Nice. Nice.
And things went very well after that.
I'm sure.
But no, they like the pace I go at. I don't put up with a lot of stuff. One thing that's got to stop is screaming division in the middle of the vote because you thought you were loud. This has been allowed to go on for a long time. When I'm the speaker, it's over. You read the bill in and say the question before the House is the committee report of ought to pass on House Bill 123. Are you ready for the question? I count to 2 in my head. That is your last chance.
Right.
The minute I say, all those in favor say aye, and I get some ayes, you can't change the vote.
Right.
That is how it's going to be from now on.
It's gone the other way several times, I remember,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
which I never understood. They asked for the vote to be taken, and then somebody would yell something, and
Yeah.
roll call or whatever.
no, too late. It's over.
Yeah.
It's over. And so sometimes, too, the minority will think he's cheating. We really won that one, but he's throwing it to the other side.
Yeah.
No. So what I'll do is I'll call what's called a clarification vote early in the session. So aye, nay, I'll tell them I'm in doubt. Close the doors, nobody's allowed to come in or out,
Right.
and only the members in the room vote, and it always comes out the right way. And then they don't really try it after that.
Yeah, good point.
You know, one member came up because they wanted to argue. They thought I made a bad call. And I said, but the vote's over. I banged the gavel. Like, but I was yelling division. I said, but I banged the gavel. I'm like, you don't understand. That actually matters. When you bang the gavel, action's done on that play.
Yeah, and Bill O'Brien was really good with that. and he took a lot of heat for that. But once that gavel was done, and he would bring his arm up, and you knew by the time that's coming down, you better speak up or it's done.
The minute it claps, that's it. So I told the members, said, well, you have options. You can challenge the ruling of the chair, or you can move reconsideration. Now, they don't want to do that.
No.
Because if reconsideration fails, it's over.
done.
They can't even talk about that thing again. That's death in year one.
Yep.
But they opted not to do that. And I think they've learned where the red lines are, and that's what makes a session day go smoothly. Everybody's in those chairs. Why not make it go well?
Right.
Okay, so trade secret, because I think they all know I do it. I will occasionally, for something minor that I wouldn't even speak up about, admonish the majority for something. It's, it matters. It's got to look fair, and it probably is something I should say something about. I got a few members that I can count on to always be making noise. I know where to look, and they get it. So far, nobody's taken it personally,
Yeah.
but it helps because fairness matters.
Yeah.
So yeah, all of that. I am ready. I have been tested probably like no other candidate before between the COVID sessions and then all the stuff we went through when we first got back to the House. There were protests. We were still being sued. We had stuff in the tank if we had to deal with that. Do you remember Burt Cam?
Yes.
John Burt with that giant lens on his camera? So he got me a whole folder of pictures from the soccer field of the Democrats that were sitting knee to knee with no masks having lunch.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it's a known scientific fact. You can't get COVID while eating a sandwich.
That's right. That's right. And if you're walking through the restaurant, you have to wear a mask because COVID is up here.
It is, and it's only in the aisles.
And as soon as you sit down, you can take the mask off because COVID doesn't come down here.
Right.
And I like the arrows because on the floor, the one-way arrows, those were my favorite. And Don and I would always turn the wrong way, and people would look at us and say,
I was going
they'd
the
point.
wrong way down the grocery store aisle once, and this lady, the arrows, the arrows. And I looked around and I said, I didn't even know there were any Indians in here.
I'm not going to lie. And I don't care how many votes I lose over this because I always tell the truth. I miss the arrows. Because I go to this store where you get a lot of the people that come down side by side, slow, and when you walk up to them, they don't care, right? That's your problem. You can turn around, march your butt back to a different eye. They don't care. I miss the one-ways.
There was a story about a fella who got arrested for something basic like disturbing the peace or something very minor, but he got arrested for it because he went into IKEA and he started putting arrows on the floor so that all the arrows turned back around and you could never get to an exit.
Oh, that had to be fun. So when did you do that?
It wasn't me, but I thought it was a hilarious story. He was protesting the arrows, and so he
got him.
He took all the arrows that existed, and then he added some so that there was no way out once you were in.
No way out. Oh my goodness! So we won't have one-ways in we don't have one-ways in the House, but we do have rules on which aisle you can use while somebody's speaking.
That's true. You can't walk in front of you.
Exactly. Like, so many people get confused about that too. If somebody's at the well on this side, you can come down the other one. You just can't walk up to their face. I got them to get it once. I said, okay, put yourself at the well. Think about that, okay? And I come charging down the aisle straight at you. How does that make you feel? You're like, yeah, okay, I got it. That shouldn't happen. But decorum's important.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been bad. It can be a little tighter. We got too many representatives that watch national politics on TV and want to be that way.
And they think that's
the way
okay.
They should be.
Yeah, it's not okay, and it's not what people here want. You know what my constituents want? They want their taxes to stay stable or go down. They want the roads fixed, and then they'd like to be able to forget that I even exist, right? Because they want to be left alone.
Yep.
And they want calm people that can govern responsibly, that aren't making a problem or a spectacle. Gene Chandler said the smartest thing I ever heard once. He said, when you have a big majority, pass anything you want, but don't make a big deal out of it. Those are words to live by. If you're in it for the glory, you're doing it wrong, because that's not what most people want. If you have the good fortune to be in a 60-40 district one way or the other, yes, go out there, be a flag waver for your party, make all the noise you want, and they'll love it. But if you're in what most of the districts are that look like the state, remember that the people that are going to decide, they don't really care. And they want quiet, calm leadership, responsible stewardship of, I'm going to use a dirty term, public money. There is no public money. There is no government money. It's your money. And anybody that's elected needs to remember that. I am taking care of your money and trying to give you back as much as possible. That has to be one of your core tenets. Some things in the House need to change. You know, my colleagues saw fit to file like 1,000 bills. In year 2. This is a huge problem for a couple of reasons. First of all, we process them in 90 days, right? You get them. We're not allowed to start enrolling bills until introducing bills until January. Then I have sat there until 7 o'clock at night reviewing them to see what committee they go to. Same when the committee reports back, because the calendars do. Then they have to go be noticed before there can be a public hearing, so that's a week. If they're lightning fast, they could exec it the next week, but that never happens. They got to be done by the end of March with everything.
Yeah.
So you don't have time to do anything well, and that's a problem. And now they changed the state primary.
Yeah.
So imagine that you're an incumbent in year 2. Your busiest time is January through June, and somebody challenges you in a primary. Are you going to campaign, or are you going to do your job? This is going to make it really hard for working representatives to do anything. So we got to find a way to minimize the number of bills. Some ideas about how to do that, but it's going to take buy-in, and the members are going to have to vote for it through an update to the House rules.
Yeah, too many people that go there that are elected made some promises to their neighbors that, oh, I'll bring that bill up. So they all want to go in and do that. I know the first year I was there, I didn't say anything. I had no bills that I wanted to.
Oh, bless you.
Because I just saw what was going on, and it just seemed to me that the first year you're there, you should be learning. You should understand what's going on, and you should be really proud that you were there. And that's important, because otherwise you end up with exactly what we always end up with, which is too many bills.
So we hear about freshmen all the time doing stuff like that, right?
Yep.
Learning is what you should be doing as a freshman.
Absolutely.
But like you said, folks want to go and make a name for themselves, and they've got this list of things that, is the reason they were prompted to run, right? And so they want to, again, they want to make a name for themselves by submitting bills on X, Y, and Z. But at the same time, I feel like there's an element of these reps who go in and they want to submit bills that aren't necessarily meant for the good of New Hampshire, but are meant to reinforce something that's going on in national politics, right? And so folks, especially on the liberal side, they want to. Oh, well, we want to make it legal for men to go into women's restrooms, right? And it's got nothing to do with the town that they elected them to be there for, but it's got everything to do with the national policy of their party, and they're just going to submit. So there's going to be a whole bunch of these frivolous bills that are just there because that's what they see on the news every day, and they want to be a part of making a name for themselves. But
that's the problem. I don't think
that's what I'm saying.
No, but I don't think we should be voting for people who just want to make a name for themselves. That's not why you want to be in the House. That really isn't the reason.
It can't be
for most people.
Not for New Hampshire,
right? For most people, I'm friends with or worked with on committees. They weren't trying to make a name for themselves. They were trying to help the citizens of this state.
Anyway, I feel like that's where a lot of the bills come
And
from.
I think you're right, though.
You get people who want to make a name for
Yep.
themselves, and then they want to reinforce something that's happening nationally, as opposed to dealing with what needs to be dealt with here in New Hampshire.
They also don't work together enough. Like, take education freedom accounts. Why do you have to have 20 bills, right?
Right.
Majority, figure out what your position should be. Minority, figure out what you want. File those 2 bills. I don't understand why we have to have a dozen of them.
Right.
That's there has to be a way to
And then the
stop
Senate
that.
will add a few more.
Oh, sure. Yeah, well, I'm not
We
going to.
don't have time to talk about the Senate.
I'm trying not to use the S word. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, don't talk to the people on the other side
Yes.
of the wall. I
We are
remember that.
forbidden to say it in the House. So I remember my first orientation, the portion where we in the chamber. It was given by Dan Eaton and Sean Jasper.
Oh, my.
And they said, you've all been out there campaigning, you've been beating each other up, because it's both parties are sitting in the room. Said that you're all in this together now, and we want to tell you about the real enemy.
It's like not saying Macbeth in a play,
Yeah. Holy cow. It's it's challenging because their outlook and their priorities are different. They have to listen to different people.
Yep.
I ran a bunch of my campaigns for $800. I win, I lose. It's not that big an investment. Not so for the Senate. They have a
No.
lot more on the line.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I get it.
So tell us real quick, what's going on in the House right now? What's going on in the legislature? Are we past switchover day? Where are we? Do we have veto day?
We will have a veto day.
What's left coming up?
That's it, veto day.
That's it.
Just
Now it's
veto day?
usually September or.
Usually. Yeah, I don't think he's called the date yet.
So
but
what happens between now and then? Do we have
between now and
any
then,
type of reconciliation committee work, or are we on vacation?
most of them are on vacation. I also have the good fortune to be the chair of the orientation committee.
So you're still there.
Yeah, I'm there every day because now we have to build that program out. It does change from term to term,
Yeah.
but new representatives coming in, we teach them how to be a representative in 3 days. It should be a 6-week program, but we get 2.5, 3 days. The part that I always insist on spending a bunch of time on is mock committee hearings,
Yes.
because, that's where the work happens. So if they can't do that, they can't do anything. So we actually have mock committee hearings that they participate in.
That's good.
I always make sure we have bad representative on the committee because they have to see what you can get gavelled for. I had one once. She was a little too enthusiastic and creative. I don't remember what she did, and I'm twirling the gavel, and the room goes quiet. And so the problem is, I really want to gavel her, but I actually can't figure out for what right now. But no, it's a good time. There's poor people who are drinking from a fire hose.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, but it's necessary.
So
I should probably talk about me, since we got like 8 minutes left.
yeah, go. No, we get a good feeling, about you running. You certainly have the experience. I don't know of anyone,
I got the
honestly,
experience.
that has as much experience as you do, that's even thinking about running or has already put their name in.
Yeah.
I think it'll be. I think it would be good to have somebody with Steve's experience in that seat. And I will say this. We had some misunderstanding at one time in our career, but we both kind of stepped up. He came to me, and we worked things out. That's the kind of person he is. And I think if there's any issues that somebody has with him, and he feels he's the problem, he'll let you know. And I do appreciate that, and we've been friends ever since that.
Yeah, he did something I didn't like, and then I was a real jerk about it in the wrong place. I should have had a private conversation with him.
Yeah.
No, I don't like to let things fester, or
Right.
I screwed up. I want to try to fix this and then move on.
Yep.
Actually, since I said Dan Eaton's name, I actually took the opportunity to apologize to him at orientation in front of everybody when what was I even doing? Oh, the decal plate bill. Okay. Hot topic, right? But anyway, he hated the whole idea. He did not want it. Like, he was like personally offended that we would do this to New Hampshire license plates. I was a little wound. He got up and he gave this blistering speech about turning New Hampshire license plates into New Jersey, Atlantic City trinkets. And I'm like, what is wrong with this guy? I got up to give the next speech, and I said, I appreciate my friend from Stoddard's comments, but now I'm going to tell you the truth. And I launched into my speech, and then he did the worst thing. So I called Dan a liar from the well. Oh, no. And then he did the worst thing any human being could do about it. When I left the well and was walking back to my seat, he stood up and shook my hands.
Oh, no. Well, there's a lesson for you, right?
Holy cow, yeah. Skillful. That knife went in deep. Okay, so who's classy? Not me.
Yeah.
But I made it right. And we were friends after that. We disagreed, but we were friends after that.
So why don't you tell people how to reach you, that kind of thing.
Sure.
If they want to. And also, is there anything else that you want to have the people know about your run for this position?
Yeah, you can go to steveforspeaker.org. Did I use a radio voice there? I tried.
Yeah, you did. That's
yeah,
okay.
Nice.
It was good.
steveforspeaker.org, and there's a contact form. There's information about me and my bizarre life and why I am uniquely positioned to do a good job for you in this job. I believe in servant leadership. I don't want to be the boss. I want to be the steward, the guy who takes care of things, the guy that looks out for members, the guy who makes the machine run. I don't need credit for things. I learned that a while ago. Some of the biggest things I've gotten done in the House, my name wasn't even on. And that's okay. I know I did them. Training. We need to train a new level of leaders. We don't have those now. My experience as a corporate trainer for 6 years is going to help with that. But the bench is light. We need people ready to step into committee and vice chair, committee chair and vice chair positions, because that's where the work happens. The House doesn't vote on bills. We vote on whether or not to accept a committee report. We need the right reports. And the reports have to be correct and they can't be flawed, because even if it's a bill you like, if a mistake was made, then we're still going to kill the bill that we like. So all of that needs to be done. I'm looking forward to it, and the money.
You get $25 more.
25 smackaroos. Yeah, boy.
25 big ones.
It's all about the money.
Yes. Oh, my. How much money I could have if I would just stop doing this. But so I get people ask me all the time, do you like being a representative? That is such a hard question. The answer is sometimes yes, especially the first day I walked into the House chamber as a representative and went, this can't happen in any other state in the country. I am nobody, and I just walked into, as a member, the most historic legislative chamber in the country, the oldest one in the country that's been continuously used. And let me tell you, if you're running for representative, you walk in and you don't feel that, try to feel it or reevaluate why you're there, because it matters. And we're all so fortunate to be able to do it. But do I like it? Not always, because my role has often been, when you're